evening.
Good evening.
Fellow Toastmasters, welcome guests. New York. It is a city of dreams. It is a place where anything is possible, and you can be anyone you want. However, having lived there for 2 years myself, I will be the first to admit, New York is a crazy city filled with crazy people. But, of all the people I've met in New York, the crazy people are the ones that I admire the most. They have taught me a very important lesson. The lesson is, life is not that serious. It's okay to have some fun, and it's okay to be different. The very first thing I was taught when I arrived in New York was, if you're walking in the streets, never stop at a red light. If you ever go to New York and you want to distinguish between the tourists and the locals, just look at how they react when the light turns red. So, the very first time I was able to continue walking even though the light was red, I knew at that moment, yes, I have become a true New Yorker. It's very easy to find other examples of how crazy New York is. This is the McDonald's that you will find in Times Square. It has a lot of lights, shining bright lights. It's on even during the day. And it's shouting to the world, look at me, I'm McDonald's. Come to me for your burgers. Also, in our minds, we always think a police station is a very strict, very serious place. This is the police station in Times Square. It looks like a beetle nut stand. Now, in such a crazy city, of course, you're going to find crazy people. Let me introduce two of my friends to you. Whoa. This is the naked cowboy, and this is the naked cowgirl. You can see them in Times Square dressed, or undressed, I might say, walking around playing their guitar, entertaining the people in Times Square. Now I'm going to move to the next slide because I know this is distracting. All right. When I was in New York, I worked at an investment bank. As some of you may know, traders are crazy people. So while I was there, I got to hear some stories about the crazy lifestyles that these traders lead. Thursday night after work, a group of traders from my company took a 3-hour drive. Actually, it was probably more like 5 hours because traffic in New York rush hour is incredibly congested. So, after work on Thursday night, they drove 5 hours to this place in southern New Jersey called Atlantic City, also known as the Las Vegas of the East Coast. They were there for the whole night, and they drove back in time for work on Friday morning. While I was in New York, I also had a chance to let loose and have a little fun. I experienced a lot of firsts when I was in New York. It was the first time I drank a little too much, and I threw up in the elevator of the pub. It was also the first time I again just drank just a little bit too much, and I threw up in the subway station in front of a group of strangers on my roommate's foot. It was also the first time that I had so much fun in the night with my friends. By the time I got home, the sun was already high up in the sky. Now, first of all, no, I don't have pictures for these examples. Second, for the record, I spent most of my time in New York pursuing healthy activities. I did not spend all of my time partying, despite how it may sound. In our society, especially Chinese ones such as ours, we often give ourselves a lot of limitations and rules to follow. That puts a lot of pressure on our shoulders. But we care a lot about how other people see us, and sometimes if we have a little too much fun, we feel kind of guilty. But you know, once in a while, if we can just step out of our boundaries a little bit, let loose a little, we may find the unexpected. It may be in the form of better business. Maybe you can gain some fame. Or you may create wonderful memories that are unforgettable, that you can share with your children, and your grandchildren, and your great-grandchildren. When we are born, we are like a white piece of paper. When we die, Our life can still be a white piece of paper, or it can be a beautiful painting filled with all the wonderful colors of the world. We may not be in New York, but we can live like a true New Yorker. So the next time you see that red light, well, you should probably still stop. It's very dangerous in Taiwan. You see on Guangfu Road, right? So stop, but let that red light remind you of the life philosophy that New Yorkers hold so true to their hearts. Life is not that serious. It's okay to have some fun, and it's wonderful to be different.